It's the mom life.
Hey guys, welcome to another Living in the Moment with B
and Steph, and today we have a super fun topic.
Woo!
Yay! I've never seen a podcast on this
neither.
or listened to a podcast on this before, so I'm excited for us to go over it, and hopefully we get a lot of good input from you guys too. This one's totally just for fun, no educational information
we need it.
whatsoever. But today we're going to talk our top, best, and worst TV and movie moms. And so all fictional, just rating from random movies and shows and whoever came to mind that we thought of.
Yeah, and they still affected us growing up, right? I mean, it's still an influence. And so, yeah, these are the moms we watched growing up and what we thought might be motherhood, what looks scary. But yeah, so we're very excited because we are TV/movie buffs.
Yeah.
So who do you have, Steph?
Need more shows than movies, but yeah, we'll see what we came up with.
Mine are movies in one show, so yeah.
Okay, yeah, so let's see. We want to start with the good or the bad, or just trade them off?
So mine, let's just trade them off.
Okay.
Because I think mine are all good, maybe a little bad.
Oh, okay. I just have a couple bad too. Okay, so we'll start with some good ones. So one of my top moms from any TV show or movie, this is from a show, it's Joyce from Stranger Things. Have you seen that show?
No. So I've watched maybe half of the first season, and it was so creepy.
It's a little creepy.
Thrillers or scary movies, and so I know it has kids, so I'm like, I can get through this. It's like 10, 12-year-old kids. No, it was too I'm like, yep, next. I'm not watching this. So, but yeah, fill me in.
It's a little creepy.
She's the main.
Yeah,
she's the main mom, right?
She's played by Winona Ryder. And
the best.
The reason I love her is so her son goes missing, right? And if you saw a little bit of it, it's like this alternate dimension.
Will?
Yep.
Is that Will? I remember
Will's
that
mom.
name. Okay.
And so her son goes missing, and she figures out where he is. He's like trying to communicate with her. And I guess she doesn't know exactly where he is, but she knows that it's some like weird thing going on. And everyone is basically there like calling her crazy, like judging her. She's setting up Christmas lights in her living room to communicate with her child who's out missing in who knows where. And so she doesn't care what anyone says. She does what she has to do. She proves them wrong. She finds where her son is. And then, the show goes on. But I love that.
Is he alive?
Yeah.
Can you share that?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how many seasons
I think they're in now, I think they're about to come out with 5, which I believe is the last one. So yeah, it's kind of creepy, but it's also not like super dark, like
I know
with the kids anyway, like,
right.
Everyone stays good for the most part, I think. But yeah, so she's one of my top. Love her. Definitely recommend trying the show again.
A fighting mama.
Yeah, exactly. She listens to her instinct. She doesn't care what anyone says. She does what she has to do to find her son.
Oh,
yep.
I love that. So my next one is Gilmore Girls. And so going off of just that mama love. Yeah. I mean, Stephanie and I both love Gilmore Girls. We watch it every year around the holidays, around the fall.
Yep.
And I like it. This one, I would say it's on my good list, but reading reviews on it, I mean, it's obviously unorthodox. There's like their relationship. It's very codependent and can seem a little unhealthy, but I watched it growing up as a kid or as a teenager, and it made me fall in love with the idea that your parent can be your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, the Gilmore Girls is a positive thing. I know you'll read a lot of things out there, but I love the Gilmore Girls. I love that they are best friends and they trust each other. And you see that growth and development throughout the show.
Me too. Yeah, I love Gilmore Girls. Yeah. 12 out of 10. Love that show. I've seen every episode multiple times. I think there can be like a happy medium between the Lorelai-Rory relationship, right, where it's so codependent and such a friends first type of thing.
It's a little much, but it's also endearing, just to have that trust in someone. It's your mom.
Yeah, totally. But a happy medium between their relationship and then the relationship between Emily and Lorelai.
Oh,
right.
I didn't even think of that relationship.
Kind of be a happy middle ground where you're still a parent and you still try to direct your child the best you can. But there's times that in the show where Rory completely undermines her mom, like zero respect, right? And just
as
does her
most
own thing.
kids,
So,
teenagers, adults do,
Yeah,
right? We
that's
all
true.
do that. And I've done it in several stages of my life, and I probably will continue.
That's true.
You know, like it's just.
What's interesting is she does it even though they've created like this major friend relationship, and Lorelai does it to her mom too, even though they had like the most strict, I don't know, rough relationship.
It's just Lorelai,
so it's just life, like you said. I guess that just happens regardless of how, you know, you raise your kids. So who knows? Next on my list is, have you seen the movie A Christmas Story?
I have not. And you know what? I make that face because so many people have told me to watch that movie. It's a classic, right?
It's a great movie. Yeah, it's older. Yeah, but it's
I've never. It's with that little boy with the glasses, right?
And it plays 24 hours on Christmas Eve.
I don't even know what it's about. Like, I don't know why I've never. Yeah, that's just not.
It's a coming of age, like, you know, Christmas movie, family movie. The little boy really wants a Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas. He's, I don't even know how old he is, maybe 10. I think they're still in elementary school. But he lives with his little brother and then his mom and dad. And the reason I love the mom is, you know, she's just a hardcore mom. Like the whole movie, she's there making 3 meals a day, taking care of her kids, taking care of the house. Things obviously get messed up, you know, as things do on a day-to-day basis. Yep. And she just completely holds down the fort. She takes things as they come. If, you know, things don't go according to plan, she adapts. Her husband does crazy things and she just, you know, goes along with him and goes along for the ride.
Is it a comedy?
No, it's funny. It's just like a feel-good family movie. Like, so it's funny. There's some serious parts. I don't think it would be classified as a comedy, but yeah, it's super cute.
Wait, when you said the husband does crazy things, I'm like, oh, is it
typical? Typical. Oh. They're funny, but like, you know, it's not like
it's just a good classic family movie.
What's that other
that
Christmas
has a little bit of everything?
That is where the dad wants to buy a swimming pool with his Christmas bonus. What's that? Is it Christmas Vacation?
I don't know.
Okay.
The only movie I know with like dads is Daddy's Home. Is that with Mark Wahlberg? Is that what it's called? I don't even know, but I think that's.
Is that with him and is it Will Ferrell?
Yes, right. Is that what it's called?
Where Will Ferrell is like
Kevin Hart.
a super dorky dad, and then Mark Wahlberg comes in, or Will Ferrell's the stepdad, right? And he's like all dorky.
Right.
Yeah.
So that, you know, that's what, when you said he's acting crazier, that's where my mind went to.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
that's funny.
Okay, I can get into it. But even classic movies, so maybe something I can watch with JJ.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's
because
so
that
cute.
mom sounds iconic.
And it's little boys, you know, and it's just, she's not like the main, I guess she's the main character, but it's not like focused on her or anything. But, you know, it's just like moms holding down the fort in the background. Like that's so true of life. And so that's what she does throughout the movie. Exactly. Yeah.
You don't see her, but she's everywhere.
Exactly. Exactly that.
So my next one, complete different one, and this is a bad one, so we can jump back and forth. But mine is Mommy Dearest. Have you ever seen that? I've never seen that. Oh my God. So I don't like scary movies.
I was going to say, isn't that a scary movie?
Right. So like maybe this is why I don't like them. This one and Species, like they scarred me forever when I was a kid. It's actually written by her daughter, Christina Crawford. Mm-hmm. And so Joan Crawford is again, Hollywood star who adopts 2 children, and the story follows her. And she's very excited to get these children. And then when her love life doesn't work out, you start to see this derailment. And she starts to treat her adoptive daughter really bad. And so you start to see like the trinity of abuse. You see psychological, mental, physical abuse. You even see one point where she like beats her with a hanger because she's using.
Have I seen that? No, why are hangers?
Yes, that's what I'm talking
movie.
About. Sorry,
yeah.
Step it down there. I keep doing that.
I have seen that movie. I think it used to play on Lifetime.
Right. Like these dresses will not be on my hanger. Like it's so. Anyways, that scarred me for life, and I'm like. And so this movie, I didn't know it was biographical. Like, I just thought it was a movie. Growing up now, I'm like, oh my
I don't
gosh.
think I knew
she
that either.
yeah, she released it after her mom passed.
Oh,
and
wow.
so, yeah, it's controversial. I mean, but that movie scared me.
That's
and so
sad. Poor thing.
I feel bad because my mom, like when she would do something I didn't like, or mom and daughter, you're growing up, you're gonna butt heads.
Yeah.
But anytime she would do something I didn't agree with, I would say, yes, mother dearest. And that was my response to her. It wasn't mommy dearest, but it was mother dearest.
Yeah.
And even now, like if she asked me to do something, I'm like, yes, mother dearest.
That's
like
funny.
as old as I am,
Yeah.
but that's so that's one movie. Like that mom
Terrible
is a bad
mother.
mom. Yeah, terrible mother.
0 out of 10.
Yeah,
do not recommend.
do not recommend. But if you want to play with your mom, that is definitely something that'll get under their skin. But yeah, I still to this day, I'm like, yes, mother dearest. And she's like, oh.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll pick one off my bad list. Gemma Teller from Sons of Anarchy. Have you seen Sons of Anarchy?
No. So that one, Jax. Like I did start watching that one because of Jax, but I did finish it, and I don't know why.
It's
like,
rough. It's very violent and very...
Oh, maybe that's why.
Yeah. It's
like Jax was hot, but maybe not that.
It's a rough...
Or maybe he is. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah. It's a rough show to watch, but it's really good. And she's a terrible mother, though, and she's Jax's mom. And
Wait, is she Mary with children?
Yeah.
Is that her?
Katie Sagal.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and she basically pushes her son to lead this violent motorcycle gang and keep it in the family, and she's a horrible example and a horrible mother and a horrible grandmother, and she's just awful. So she's definitely on my list of bad moms.
So let's switch it to another good mom.
Okay.
And another icon, Julia Roberts. Have you ever seen Stepmom?
I feel like I watched some of it, but when I was a little kid, and I feel like I watched a really sad part, and I was like, I'm not watching this. I've never been one to watch super sad movies, even when I was little.
No, it is a very sad movie.
Yeah.
And so Steph and I are 2 years apart. So I guarantee you that little 2 years played a role in this movie because it's such an iconic movie. If you have not seen it, 10 out of 10, 20 out of 10, whatever, like it is a must watch. It is heartwarming, like family movie. So it does star Julia Roberts, Susan Sarandon. Julia Roberts is the stepmom. Susan Sarandon is the mom to, and I'm going to name them just because I love this movie, but Jenna Malone, Liam Aiken are the children, and then the dad was Ed Harris. I was so in love with Ed Harris. I don't know why. He's like an older man. I was a little girl, but I was like, I get it, Julia. I get it. I'll be a stepmom too. No, I'm just kidding. I say that now. But this movie did make me fall in love. I'm like, if I'm ever in a circumstance where I am a stepmom, like I want to be this mom. And so since you haven't watched it, it's really just... You see it played out.
I feel like I did maybe, I think maybe I watched it and I had to like step away or something. Didn't the mom have cancer? She was dying.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I can't watch it. I cannot.
The movie starts as the parents are separated and he decides to propose to his photographer girlfriend, which is Julia Roberts. They find out, well, the allegiance is clear, right? The kids hate her. They treat her like crap. And I don't know, because I'm like, should I tell you because you
I feel like I did. Yeah, I think I did see it, and then it was too sad, and I was like, nope.
Yeah. So she does pass, but before she does, she takes like a bunch of pictures. Julia Roberts takes pictures of the mom with her kids and makes them this beautiful, quilt with all the photos, and it's just something for the kids to cherish. But I just, I'm like, oh my God, like, yeah, how lovely. I'm like, it just made me love.
So there's two good moms in that movie.
Oh, there's two, good moms. And you see Susan in pain because her ex-husband is leaving her for a younger woman. Yeah. And so you see that too, that it's just good. But you see them all come together. So to me, it is a very feel-good movie.
Yeah, totally. Let's see, who's next? Dang, I only have one more good one. Mrs. Weasley from Harry Potter. You've seen the Harry Potter
Oh.
movies, right?
I do like her when she says, "Not my
That's
daughter,"
exactly it, right? Like, so the whole thing, and I didn't read the book, so if this is not completely accurate, don't come for me, people. But she's just like this humble woman, right? Like, she takes care of her family, same thing, behind the scenes, brings
You don't
in
see much of
Harry,
her.
does what she has to do.
Just a caretaker,
Exactly.
loving caretaker.
Exactly. You don't think she's going to be like on the front end of this fight, but no, mess with her kid and the freaking mama bear comes out. Like,
That's
and
right.
not only does she take down anyone, it's like one of the most powerful witches on the dark side. And she's like, nope, absolutely not. And I love that.
That gives me goosebumps.
Exactly. I love that. She is like,
I love that episode.
Top of my list.
I mean, that scene, I don't know why I said episode, but yeah, that scene, I remember watching it in theaters. Such a mommy-daughter moment.
It's such a lead up to that too. Like, all of the movies, she's just, like I said, behind the scenes, normal mom, you're not expecting to see anything great from her. And then mess with her kids, and we all have that in us, like 0 to 100. Yeah, exactly. So
that's
love
right.
her.
Oh yeah, I love that. That's a good one. That is a good one. I will jump into another one. Who is a good mom? Because I know you have bad ones, right? Next,
I have a couple more. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I will jump into the Adam Project. Have you seen that one? That's a newer one.
We did see it, but I don't remember too well. Ryan Reynolds. I don't remember the mom, but I remember the Ryan Reynolds and little boy relationship is very funny throughout. That I do. Oh my God!
So it's himself, right? So it's comical, but he teams up with like his 12-year-old self. Mm-hmm. He goes back to save the world. But there's this particular scene, and his mom, of course, is my pretend mama bestie, Jennifer Gardner.
Oh,
I love her. And so, anyways, where was I? Lose my thought. Okay, so anyways, there's this scene where they're in the bar, mm-hmm. and she's just opening up and just talking to the bartender, mm-hmm. saying, she thinks she's doing something wrong, and he's listening to her.
He's sitting right there, right? Like as an adult.
Right.
Yeah.
As an adult, she doesn't know that's him in the future. Mm-hmm. And so she's just like down about herself because her son, which is him, right, in the present, but he's 12, they're having their outs. But anyways, he jumps in and he says, don't worry, you're doing great. Boys always go back to their mom. And I'm like, oh my God, I started crying. I know I always want to cry. And she's like, well, it sounds like you're speaking from experience. And he says, well, yeah, I have the best mom.
Oh.
And it's just so touching. Yeah, it just reminds me of and again, this is him coming back. He didn't realize, as he grew up, everything his mom went through, because again, she's the quiet, she's holding down the fort, but she doesn't say much, letting everyone else live their lives. And so now that he's going back, he's seeing her for the first time, I think as an adult, as an actual human being, and really understanding her pain. And it just reminds me, no matter what age, or it reminds me of babies, when they say babies don't know that their moms are a separate entity mm-hmm. from them, because they grow in you. And so they don't know until they're past a certain age. I don't know if it's 1 or 2. But I don't think that ever goes away. I feel like you don't see your mom a lot of the time because she's so a part of you. Mm-hmm. And you don't see her until you're an adult.
She's her own person, like a human.
Right, you don't mm-hmm. see her it's always mom, what do you need? And I can say that, right? I was a kid, I was a daughter, mom. And you don't often see what they're going through. You just see what you're going through until you become an adult or a parent. And it's so funny because with JJ, when he was new, my husband's all he wants is you. All he knows is me. He thinks we're one and the same, and we were reading books on that. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that ever really goes away in a sense, right?
I
your
love
mom
that.
is always the background noise, doing everything. And that moment, it's just a beautiful movie and a beautiful mom and son moment.
That is a good movie. I need to watch it again. That reminds me of a quote that one of my friends told me recently, and it kind of ties in. It was, don't forget that this is your parents' first time living life too, right?
Oh,
they don't know everything. They're learning with you. They're their own people, going through, and you look at your parents like these, those are your parents. They know everything. They're
right. The pressure of a parent, mm-hmm. to I have to know everything, but also because the kid does depend on you.
Exactly.
To know everything.
Depend on you. Yeah.
That's why when we talked in one of our other episodes, and we're it wasn't so different for us to become, or our mindset didn't change because we became parents at 30 or
Mm-hmm.
in our 30s. But when you're 18 or 19 or like, oh my gosh, I applaud those people, because how do you even know? It was all backwards then. Like, I don't know, but yeah.
True. Yeah, no, that's a good one. I'm going to have to watch that one again. Let's see. Bad one, Beth from Good Girls. It's another series. Have you seen that show?
I have not. I've never even heard of it.
Mine are these crime-ridden moms. This one is, I don't know if I would necessarily say a gray area, but she starts out as this super involved mom, 4 kids, schedules, lists, homemade lunches, sandwiches shaped for whatever holiday it is, going full out. And then she has to she's a stay-at-home mom, and then she has to start helping her family because they're in major debt, I think it is. Yeah. And so she turns to this life of crime, and then she realizes that, like, she just felt so stagnant, maybe is the word, like, just, very much living life in this linear fashion, like same thing every single day. And then she gets into this life of crime and has this major, like, adrenaline boost and goes
Endorphins.
all in, and just goes completely crazy and stops going to her kids' recitals and completely jumps into crime, and it's crazy. It's a total 180. So yeah, she's a terrible mother, but it's a really good show. So you should watch it. Give it a try. It's on Netflix.
Have you? It reminds me of Weeds. Did you ever see Weeds?
I didn't see that one. Mm-mm.
So I couldn't even tell you the name of the characters. I don't know why I didn't think of it. But it is but same thing. So she gets into a financial bind, and she's not with the father. So she's trying to raise her 2 boys. And so, yeah, she starts selling weed to make ends meet and becomes a big dealer. And yeah, I have mixed emotions with her because I love her. Like, I love her personality. She actually reminds me of Lorelai in some ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously not a good parent. Like,
does she end up completely like abandoning her kids pretty much to?
No, I think that's why I do like her, because I don't want to call her a bad parent. She is attentive, but she's also a mess. And so her kids go through a lot. Obviously, all the choices she makes affects them and how it ends. But yeah, you have to watch it. Yeah, I haven't watched it in years. But when you were saying, yeah, it reminded me of that. So Weeds is a good one. Yeah, you should watch it.
Cool. Yeah, always looking for new shows. We're bingers over here.
And so I know that's why my movies are old, y'all, because I don't binge. So mine are like childhood movies that I watched when I was younger. Yeah. So I'm like Stepmom, Mommy Dearest. The Adam Project is new.
Yeah,
so that's like a year
or two.
Mm-hmm. But another one that I have, my last one, and this is just all around Miss Doubtfire, because I was going to say I love the mom. And so obviously he's a man. But that movie just the mom is a good mom. She's an attentive mom. It just made me like feel.
Well, she doesn't know that the person
parents.
watching her kid is her watching her kids is her ex-husband.
That's another gray area. Like, ma'am, how did you not know? But I just think that movie made me fall in love with family. Like, I know they were messy at first and they weren't, they were apart, but it all comes together. They end up together at the end, right? I feel like do you remember that?
I think so. Yeah.
I think they were separated, and then she's dating James Bond. And then she leaves Mr. Bond for Miss Doubtfire.
I think so. Yeah.
But it's a funny movie. I love it. That one is not like a iconic mom movie, or I don't know, right? No, it's not.
Just a good family movie, yeah, for sure.
But it's a family movie, yeah.
Definitely. Let's see, I just have one more. This is a bad mom. It's kind of funny. Kevin McAllister's mom. Home Alone.
That's a good one.
Can you stop forgetting your kid every freaking year? Like, come on. She got on a darn plane and everything. She's crazy.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm always like that. I'm always JJ. Where's JJ? And actually, yesterday we went to a carnival, which was nice, and my husband.
Oh, fun.
So, quick snippet I'm going to throw in there since we're done with movies, but he's like, oh, the airport? Like, I'm sure I could have handled that easily. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Whatever. So we go to the carnival. I'm like, let's get his stroller. He's like, no, we don't need it. I'll carry him. Okay, you carry him.
Yeah.
Sure enough, my baby's big. And so he starts to get tired, puts him down. JJ takes off, and Julian is like chasing him, running after him. And he's like, oh my God, like that's scary. There's so many people. And I'm like, oh,
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, nope. I'm like, yep.
Glad that was a little full circle moment for you. Like, nope.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't do the airport that easily.
Yeah. But I mean, and there really is no cheering because I'm also chasing my baby. I'm like, come here.
Yeah.
But, and also, just quick note, just a proud mommy moment. He rode the Ferris wheel with me, but he wasn't scared. Like,
and I think the Ferris wheel is terrifying. So that's super
oh my God,
brave.
it is so I haven't ridden one. I don't ride a lot of rides, but my sister and I were like holding on with dear life, right? Like white knuckle clench onto this pole because it was going slow, and every time it stopped, the swing would swing. Right, swing. But JJ, wee!
Oh, jeez.
Wee! And then we were like, oh
my God, stop moving.
Yeah, it was, and wee! Like he's fearless.
Good for you guys getting on, because that's scary.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, we're not doing this again.
Yeah.
So the next ride, I'm like, I told his dad, okay, you can get on with him because Mama's here for the clapping and the photos and the videos.
Yeah, no rides. Same here.
Yeah.
Speaking of, though, your airport travel real quick, you got a lot of feedback on TikTok with other moms like, oh my gosh, it's so difficult. Like, good for you. Just great stuff. So if you're not, go follow us on TikTok, Living in the Moment Pod. But yeah, that was a great video, and I think super realistic. Like, it's not easy to take a toddler on an airplane and in an airport and all these places by yourself. So.
And I actually thought, like, I did get some footage, and I thought I would get more. I'm like, oh, this would be a cute video, cute little TikTok to put together. No, I didn't get much because I was running around.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, and there's times I'm charging my phone, like, in an outlet and running after the baby and, like, keeping an eye on my phone because I'm like, there's no way that battery can die when we're on the airplane. Yeah. So I had to risk, like, well, someone might steal it, but...
It is what it is.
You do what you do,
exactly. Mamas. Well, this was a fun one. We'll try to think of more fun ideas. If you have like favorite TV or movie moms, please leave them below. Or some of your worst ones. We'd love to hear other ideas. These were actually kind of hard to think of too. So we would love to hear what you guys think.
Yeah, and again, very excited about our guest. And so probably maybe next 2 episodes, maybe 3. We're still working out some technology stuff, but
we'll figure it out.
Try to get everyone up and running. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks guys for tuning in.
Have a good one.
See you next week. Bye.
Living in the moment, it's the mom life.